Hey folks, welcome to another review right here on the Dice Tower with yours truly, Sam Healey. Today we're taking a look at Donut Shop. This is a new one that's put out by 25th Century Game, designed by Jeffrey Allers, and it is exactly what it looks like. You are making and selling donuts. Let's get down to the table and see what it's all about. So here I have a two-player game of Donut Shop set up for you, and you have this plus-shaped beginning of the baker's rack right here in the middle of the board. Everybody starts with one donut tile, one donut order card, and then you also have one quad-shaped box that you'll be able to use at any point during the game, and that's what you start with. On your turn, you're basically going to be able to put a donut tile out on the board. When you do that, you have to place it in such a way where it is orthogonally adjacent to another flat edge. But later on in the game, you are not able to place it where it is going to be dividing two other previously placed tiles. You have to stay on those flat edges like that. Now, when you place this tile out there, you're going to score 5 cents for each of the donuts that are matching and connecting. So if I placed it right here, I would score 5, 10, 15, 20 cents. I would take those 20 cents from the stash, and that would go in front of me. So now, after I've played a tile, if I have the right order cards in my hand, I could play this box here, but I only have banana cream donuts here, and there aren't 4 banana cream donuts out there, so I wouldn't be able to place this because you have to have this. You have to have matching order cards for everything that fits down underneath this tile. So since I only have one, I'm not able to do that. But at the end of your turn, you're going to draw one tile and one order card. But here's the thing. With this draw, you can only draw one that's face up, and the other one has to be face down. If you draw a face up order card, you have to take one of the face down donut tiles, and so forth. So, knowing that I have this in my hand, I want to start bumping up the banana creams. So I'm going to take this one that's face up, and then I'm going to take one of these that is face down, and it's a crawler. But that's that. Then, if we take any of the ones that are face up, you simply have to replace that like so, and the next person takes their turn. On my opponent's turn, they're going to take their card and their tile, and let's see, I think they'll place it right here like this. And the reason this is cool is because these little donut holes will act as wilds. So with this placement, they'll be able to get 5, 10, 15, 20 points, or rather cents, and they'll add that to their thing. They only have the raspberry glaze, or blueberry glaze, whatever you want to call it. So there isn't anything out here that just has blueberry glaze. So they aren't going to be able to place out their box either. So they're just going to draw. I think what they'll probably do is they'll take this one that's face up, and then they'll take one of the face down ones as well, adding it to there like this. Another one is added to the open display here like this. And then it comes back to my turn. On my turn, I'm going to take this one and, well, I think I'm going to go ahead and place, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's the same. So we'll just go ahead and place this one right here like that. And this gives me 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 cents this time. But now that I have this open, I could actually place, I can place an order because I've got crawlers and banana creams, and I have this quadrant that's right here that is banana creams, wilds, and crawlers. So I can place, because I have the right kind of order, right here, and it's going to score me 20 cents. But because I played 2 coffee order cards, I'm going to get an additional 15 cents to that. So this order is actually 35 cents. So I take a 25 and a 10, and that's the end of my order. That's the end of my turn. This goes back to a discard, and I am going to take, let's see here. I think I'll take the sprinkle card here as my face up and a donut tile face down, replacing this. And this is how the game continues until there are no more order cards left to draw, or there are no more donut tiles left to draw. At that point, everybody gets one more turn, and everybody who has the most money at the end of the game is the winner. So that's about that for Donut Shop from 25th Century Games, designed by Jeffrey Allers. First of all, I know this is a little bit of foreshadowing, but I really enjoyed this game. And I was really happy to see Jeffrey Allers' name on it because I've enjoyed games from him in the past as well. And I think I've had the chance to meet him. He's a great guy. So maybe that's a little bit that's putting me in a little bit of a biased position, but I don't really care because this is what my review is. It's a little bit of a biased thing. It's what I think. It's my opinion, right? So as far as my final thoughts are concerned, this is a great little family weight game that is going to probably go over very well in a number of different kinds of gateway situations where you have new players, new people coming over, that kind of thing, new people at game nights. This would be a perfect game for you to start the night with, I guess you could say. It's a good appetizer, if I can say it that way. And there's no pun intended. I'm not trying to say that because it's a food-themed game. It's just, I think it's a good starting point in a number of different situations because it has some really classically time-tested mechanisms that are in there with just a little bit of a twist. If somebody has played Carcassonne or something to that effect, they'll immediately be able to latch on to that. I actually had one of the people that I was teaching over the weekend say that this is giving them a Carcassonne vibe. So I think that's cool. But on the kind of the flip side of that, I think this might even be a good step up before you get to Carcassonne because it really doesn't have any surprises as far as scoring or anything like that is concerned. Carcassonne gets a little bit sketchy when you start scoring things out. This one doesn't have that problem at all. You simply already have the points that you scored during the course of the game. Whoever has the most points when the game ends is the winner. There's no final scoring after that. So I think that's a cool thing about it. I think it's even more of a gateway experience for tile placement than Carcassonne itself is, which in my opinion says a lot about how good this game is and one of the reasons why I like it that much. So without further ado, let's get to my pros and cons. My first pro of the game is that it is very fun and very light, and it has that tile placement mechanism in there. All of the mechanisms in there are kind of intuitive. They make sense. Once you explain them, everybody gets it, and you don't have to continue explaining them. It's very fun. It's very light. People catch on super quick, and that just means that your initial experience with the game is just going to be more fun. You don't have to spend half the game learning how the game works. You've got it, and now you're experiencing the game the way it was meant to be experienced from the very beginning. I think that's a great thing, and that's why it's my pro. It's a very fun, very light tile placement game that people just kind of latch on to from the get-go. My second pro for the game is the theme is super accessible. Who doesn't love donuts, right? And even if you don't agree on which donuts are the best, Krispy Kreme are the best, period, end of discussion, full stop. There's nothing you could say about that. I know that's subjective. I know it's not objective. Please don't get mad. I really enjoy Krispy Kreme donuts, but who doesn't like donuts? I understand that it might not be something that you can eat or that you necessarily want to eat all the time. You might think those donuts are too cakey and I don't like them. They're too dense. Those are too light and they just kind of melt in your mouth. I get it, but who doesn't know what donuts are. And the retro theming in this game was a knockout of the park. I love the fact that the retro style graphics and all of that kind of stuff. I just thought it was great. These little deluxe components, the napkin rack where you take the orders out of, and the donut rack that you put together. These are just great little thematic gems that the game uses really, really well. I loved it. I thought the theme was a great idea. I like food-themed games anyway, but this one just really kind of sung. My third pro of the game is component quality is good. These tiles are not chintzy. They're pretty sturdy cardboard tiles. And these little components that I already mentioned earlier are also just made out of cardboard. I just didn't see necessarily the deluxe edition components that were there. I would have probably liked to have seen real donuts. No, I'm just kidding. Of course not real donuts. Those would get moldy. But maybe it's a deluxe version because it did come with a couple of other expansions that I didn't mention in the first. There are some variant secret orders that you can have in the game, and basically each player gets one of these dealt to them at the beginning of the game, and then you can kind of score those on your own. There are also some bonus tiles for a second expansion that come in the game, but each person again gets one of these dealt to them in addition to the original the basic donut tile that they start with the game. So if you use this expansion, you start with 2 donuts tiles instead of just 1. So there's that. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe it was the donut hats. The donut shop hats that it comes with that you can wear as you play the game. And yes, that's what we actually did over the weekend. We actually played the game with these on. So maybe that was it. I don't know. These aren't deluxe components, but they're good components. And my final pro for the game is that gameplay was quick, fun, and easy, and it didn't overstay its welcome. It really felt like it was supposed to end when it ended. It wasn't one of those games that, wow, I'm really enjoying this, but, I'd kind of like to stop playing now and be done with it and play a different game. It's not that I don't enjoy the game, it's that I'm just done with it. That didn't happen with this game. You're involved, you're invested the entire time. It is light, it is fun, so it wasn't like you were overbearingly involved in the game, but it was still just a very fun experience that ended exactly when you thought it was going to end. And on top of that, more often than not, we were like, hey, I want to play this again. Let's go to it. And that's the feeling that it left. So the mechanisms were light. The gameplay was simple and fun. And you wanted to play it again right after the game. That's why it's a pro for gameplay. As far as my cons for the game, I don't have any. This is an instant classic for me. I love food games. Jeffrey Aller's one of my favorite designers. The component quality is good. I like 25th Century Games as a publisher. This was an instant classic. I cannot see myself getting rid of this game anytime in the near future because it has so much staying power. And I like it a lot. With that being said, we're going to get to my rating, which is very simply 2 thumbs up if you're from the flip side. This is a 9 out of 10. I rarely give out 10s. Rarely give out 10s because usually something in the game can be improved upon. Not necessarily that it's a con, but I rarely find myself thinking that this is a perfect game. This is about as close to a perfect game in a gateway situation and the kinds of situations that I find myself in more often than not lately. So that's why I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 here on the Dice Tower. I really, really enjoyed this game. Played it multiple times over the weekend. Talked to people that also played it multiple times over the weekend. And, in them being the teacher and them just being the player, this got played. I took it to a retreat, a board game retreat over the weekend, and this probably got played 5 or 6 times over the course of the weekend. I was in 2 of them. I know that at least 2 other times it was played by somebody else that I talked to, and I know I saw it being played at other times as well. So this was a hit, as far as I'm concerned, over that kind of a situation. And that's why it gets a 9 out of 10. 2 thumbs up if you're from the flip side. If you have the opportunity to pick this one up, I don't think that you'll be disappointed. So, with that being said, thanks for joining me. We'll see you guys and gals on the flip side. Take care.